Hello, hello, hello. So anyway, this has been on my mind for a couple days. Anyone who I've talked to knows I was really sick last week, so I didn't get to this the day that it came out, but I have been wanting to talk about it since then. So on January 16th, on Friday, Trump declared it a religious freedom day. Yeah. Okay. The proclamation that the White House gave out says, uh, for 2,000 years, our nation and our people have abided by a simple truth. Every person is born with the God given right to practice their faith, follow their conscience, and worship their God freely without fear. This is Religious Freedom Day, and we honor America's distinct place in the halls of history as the only republic ever founded on such a sacred principle. And we renew our commitment to holding our proud legacy as one glorious nation under God. Do you happen to see what the problem is with that? Yeah, it's hmm. What about hello, Ember? Uh, what about all the people who aren't religious? Because that essentially completely ignores all of us. One thing that is super important to realize, and it's cropped up for me multiple times over the past few days, is the thing about this regime and the stuff they're doing is it is pure Christian nationalism, which is rooted in white supremacy. You really can't separate the two. So he's sitting here saying that you should be able to worship freely. But what him and his goons want, say, no, you have to worship this specific way. Um, Scrolling down a bit, here we go. Let me see. To further strengthen our families, and protect religious freedom, I established the White House Faith Office and Religious Liberty Commission. I also proudly established a task force to eradicate online anti Christian bias, which is charged with identifying and eliminating all anti Christian policies, practices, and conduct in executive departments and agencies. I directed the Department of Education to protect the foundational constitutional amendment, um, constitutional First Amendment right to prayer in public schools. um, as part of my administration's historic Freedom 250 initiative, we have launched the America Praise, an invitation to Americans of every background to join together in prayer, wisdom, and Republican and blessing our blessing as our republic enters its next great chapter. Sorry, guys, I'm a little tired. Yeah, anti-Christian bias when Christians are the majority of the country, and it kind of pays solely to, like, oh yes, other religions are available, or like they're able to, you're able to worship in other religions. Geez, I'm sorry, I'm super tired. um but the thing is that this isn't it does completely ignore separation of church and state. It completely ignores everybody who is not religious. There's, like, the entire thing talks about how blah blah blah, everybody should be able to everyone should be able to practice their religion. And let me find it real quick. Yeah. I call on Americans to commemorate this day with events and activities that honor our nation's proud history of religious freedom, and I especially encourage families to gather at places of worship to praise Almighty God for the blessings of liberty He has bestowed on our great nation. Exactly as He is saying they're ripping rights away from everybody. The problem for anyone that has not come to this conclusion already, which most people have, I think, the problem with having religion in government is what happens when someone gets into office that is not your specific brand. What happens when the Protestants who want Christian nationalism get a Catholic in office that wants to do a theocracy? Like, this proclamation, and I will post the link real quick in the chat. This proclamation is about as close as you can get to saying, yes, we want a Christian theocracy here, without actually taking legal steps to do so. Because I think he would even find that a hard fight right now. But this is the problem. Because there's so many people out there who are non-religious. There are so many people out there who are religious but want their politics to remain secular. Because all of this just kind of crumbles up into this insane sorry, I'm trying to think of how to word this. It crumbles up into this insane, like, you have to follow our religion or else. If anybody who reads this and thinks that Jewish people are safe is wrong. Buddhists are wrong. Hindus are wrong. It is literally only Christians they give a shit about, and only their specific kind. They don't give a crap about the religious Christians out there, but who are left wing. They throw us in the same they throw them in the same boat as us. Jason says puritanical. It's puritanical to an insane degree. And it's one of those things that we really need to watch out for. I did not hear anyone comment on this. But this is one of those things that it has been constantly creeping in for the last 25, well, even before the last 25 years, but I've noticed it for the last 25 years. Like the whole thing about prayer in schools, if they want to do it on their own time, by all means, go ahead. But no, they don't get special permission to pray, especially when other people don't pray like that, or they don't pray at all. It's one of those things that the freedom of religion goes hand in hand with everything else in the First Amendment. That we are allowed to think for ourselves and not be punished by the government for what we happen to think and or believe. If anybody thinks that this doesn't mean they're coming after you eventually, is just outright wrong. So, this is something that I really think anyone who has not paid a special attention to needs to pay very close attention to, because this is only going to get worse. It's only going to ramp up. And I'm just waiting for them to start coming after people for being anti-Christian because we call them out on their bullshit. Which is exactly what I declare on this proclamation. It's outright bullshit. Anyway, I did say this was going to be a short stream, but this has been just like bugging me for several days, and I just kind of wanted to get on a rant for it for a few minutes. So yes, it was a short one, but anyway, I hope everybody has a good day, and I will see you guys later.